Hello, movie lovers. Welcome back to Apocaflix Movies, where movies rule the world. I'm your host, Jacob Bartley, and this is our movie news podcast. I am joined again by Gio Ramos and Jake Berlin. What's going on, Gio? How you doing, man?
Good. I'm a little tired, but I'm doing good, guys.
Jake Berlin, how are you doing today?
Good. Kind of coming over that sickness, but I'm good.
Yeah, I'm doing all right, too. I'm only a little bit hungover from drinking last night. It was St. Patrick's Day, but I had a lot of fun, so let's jump right into it. We got a lot of topics to talk about. I wonder if there's any trailers to review. Gio, what do we got first, though?
Lots of trailers, but first let's talk about the big one. So we've always known for some time that Disney would bring life back into the other Lucasfilm property known as Indiana Jones. Kathleen Kennedy has gone on as far as confirming rumors that another Indiana Jones movie will happen. Her husband and fellow producer Frank Marshall has said they don't intend on treating the character like Bond, where somebody else dons the fedora and whip. Now we have official confirmation as Disney has come out and announced that Harrison Ford and Steven Spielberg will return for Indy 5 in 2019. So this confirms what Kathleen Kennedy said, that another Indiana Jones movie is coming. According to Frank Marshall, they're not going to replace Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford will always be it. Maybe some other character down the road will be introduced and kind of be his own Indiana Jones, maybe a different name, who knows. But what do you guys think about Indiana Jones 5 with Harrison Ford coming back? Pretty old, huh?
I'm totally down for it, but I'm super worried because I don't understand what they mean, how they're not going to have another actor play Indiana Jones. Then it's not going to be Indiana Jones. Mm-hmm. So are they, after Harrison Ford is not involved in this project anymore, are they going to have a new character going on these adventures and still call the movie Indiana Jones? How is that going to work? Or are you going to introduce a new character in this movie and then call the franchise whatever that person's name is from now on? So I'm totally cool with a new Indiana Jones. That I love George Lucas, but obviously he had a stranglehold on that last Indy movie and the Star Wars prequels, so it's probably best that he's not involved. So now you got Disney, Spielberg, Harrison Ford working on a Indy movie without George Lucas involved. I think it could be similar to like something The Force Awakens did. But outside of that movie, I'm a little worried about and curious about where the franchise is going to go. But so
maybe
that's how I feel about it.
Maybe it's somewhere along the lines of like a Bourne Legacy, where like you have Indiana Jones, but then you have this other guy.
But I'm just curious would they call the movie Indiana? How can you call the movie Indiana Jones once Indiana Jones is dead? Like, I just don't know how that's going to work.
Good question. I'm just curious. What about you, Jake?
I mean, I'm having Harrison Ford come back as I almost said Han Solo, as Indiana Jones is great. Raiders of the Lost Ark and the entire trilogy are some of my all-time favorite movies. But it just kind of, I am worried because Harrison Ford is going to be almost 80 years old when the movie comes out. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to put him in action scenes or anything. It's not going to be the normal Indy. So the only way I see them doing it is him maybe like narrating a story and introducing a younger Indiana Jones that's back in the 40s or something. Because we don't want to see something like Crystal Skull again where it's in the 70s and he's fighting flipping aliens or something.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see him fighting Nazis like he always has, and do something they did, just like we did with River Phoenix back with Last Crusade, where they opened the movie up with him as a young kid, and do something with a younger guy, and maybe Harrison Ford is narrating the story to someone else, or maybe he does go on an adventure, but he brings someone with him who's not Shia LaBeouf, and he kind of takes the reins from him eventually. Because I just don't see how they can continue on with Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. I don't know whether or not they would call it Indiana Jones. They can call it something else entirely if they wanted to. It's still the same property. I just don't see that. I see someone else coming in later on as a younger Indy. That's the only thing I see.
Well, wouldn't that go against what they said, how they're not going to have different actors come in and play Indiana Jones?
Yeah, but I just feel like, how are you going to... This is the second most important property Disney has right now, and how many more movies can they go with Harrison Ford as a normal, usual Indiana Jones that we know and love? It's like,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I love that it's coming
confused.
back because
Yeah.
we've expected it. You know,
No,
it's finally
definitely.
official. Steven Spielberg and Harrison Ford are back. I mean, come on. And there's no
Maybe
George
they
Lucas
just
involved.
mean. So they said we're not going to treat it like the Bond character, where it's a different actor coming in every reboot. So maybe they just mean that in the sense where they're not just going to have a brand new rebooted franchise that has nothing to do with Harrison Ford. Maybe they are going to do that where they have a younger actor play a younger Indy and have Harrison Ford narrate it and tell an old story. That would be. They don't do that in the James Bond movies, obviously, you know. So like we're not going to have old Daniel Craig tell a story about a younger Bond. So maybe just in that sense, they mean they're going to be different. But I think they have to have a younger actor play Indiana Jones going forward.
Yeah, I've gone on record saying that Steven Spielberg should step away from the franchise after 4 movies. You can actually read my editorial on apocaflixmovies.com.
You still think so without Luke's involved?
Without Lucas involved, my stance has kind of changed a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like a new, what's it called, a regime?
Yeah,
over
in
at
a way,
Lucasfilm.
yeah.
Now, I don't hate Kingdom of the Crystal Skull like some other, long-time passionate fans, but it's kind of like a guilty pleasure, actually. 'Cause
Was
it's
Shia
still-
LaBeouf his son in that movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they
Okay,
tried to make
so-
it this time.
Technically, that character still exists.
Yeah.
They won't bring it back.
Yeah,
We'll see. But I mean, if
probably not.
If Harrison Ford and Steven Spielberg want to come back and do one last one, and try and end on a strong note, kind of like how Rocky did with his franchise, by all means, go ahead and do that. As far as story would go, I would imagine have you guys ever seen The Mask of Zorro with Anthony Hopkins? Kind of like Indiana Jones is in Anthony Hopkins' role. And
Yeah, he brings in a younger
and he brings
kid
in a
or
young
something
kid,
like that.
hot-headed kid, and he's training him. You get a funny
But-
Indiana Jones out of it.
I mean, I could totally see that, but his name wouldn't be Indiana Jones, though.
And the issue is it's the 70s and 80s now.
Yeah.
It's not the 40s where he's fighting Germans. It's like that's what we want to see.
Yeah, that's gonna be tricky too, because it's like, how are you gonna introduce a new Indiana Jones and still be in the 50s?
But we have no idea what they're gonna
Right,
do. But
yeah.
yeah, let's move on to some trailers.
Yeah, let's talk about X-Men Apocalypse. Bryan Singer's 4th X-Men film has a second trailer. It's filled with tons of action, cool character shots, and plenty of Jennifer Lawrence and Apocalypse as well, and all these other young characters: Cyclops, Storm, Jubilee,
Angel,
Jean Grey.
Grey. Thank you guys. I'm just waking up. Sorry. What do you guys think? X-Men Apocalypse. Talk about it.
I thought it was epic, and we've had issues, or I'll say I've had issues with the main thing is Apocalypse so far. I think that it's just looked like the same old X-Men movie that we've gotten from everything we've seen so far up until this trailer, and that's not to say that it's not going to be great, because everything Bryan Singer touches as far as X-Men goes is great, and he gets better with each film. But this is kind of the trailer that put me over the top, and I'm really, really looking forward to it now. We always kind of thought that this movie alongside Civil War were kind of the two guaranteed, at least good superhero movies this year. I think it's safe to say that both this and Civil War are now the two guarantees being the great superhero movies this year. This trailer killed it from beginning to end. There's so many good things about it. I mean, Cyclops looks crazy good, better than we ever got him in the original trilogy. Bad Storm, Bag Magneto, Apocalypse looks a hell of a lot better than he did a year ago. It just looks so epic, and it's mutant versus mutant. It's teammates from the future who are fighting each other, and Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique. I really love the leadership role that she's taken because of the new timeline. Fans who are hating on it, you got to remember this is a whole new timeline. This isn't the original trilogy X-Men. And the only thing that I'm a little worried about is that I hope that there's no mind control involved. I hope that Magneto, when he says, we have to take everything from them, I hope that's solely his mindset behind it. I hope it's not Apocalypse. I hope that he goes in and, he's like, this is the guy I want to follow, and that Apocalypse has nothing to do with it. That's the only thing that I hope I don't see in the movie, but other than that, I'm sold. I'm completely in.
Yeah, so I liked the last trailer, the first trailer. I really liked it, but I didn't love it. They barely showed Apocalypse. It felt very generic to me, the last one, even though I did like it. I absolutely love this trailer. This is the trailer I've been waiting to see. You got a lot of action. We're going to see freaking Cyclops and Storm fight. That's incredible. There's a lot of good shots. You actually get to see Apocalypse's face. And just overall, I thought it was a great trailer, the best piece of marketing they put out for this movie so far. I'm surprised. I know it was in my top 10 most anticipated. I don't know where, but it's hard when you got a Star Wars movie, Civil War, Batman v Superman coming out. But I'm just as much looking forward to X-Men Apocalypse. X-Men and Spider-Man and what I grew up on, those were my two favorite like comic book entities when I was growing up. So I'm so looking forward to this year. I'm get both of them in films. So I love this trailer.
Yeah, for me, I don't need a trailer to sell me on a X-Men film directed by Bryan Singer. I know what I'm getting. Like, this guy knows what he's doing with the X-Men films. That being said, this trailer was okay, I felt. I mean, I don't know if it's because you just had a Civil War trailer come out, and that was like, phenomenal. You had a Batman v Superman, redeeming third trailer come out, and that was, awesome. And now you have this, and I just thought it was, good. I'm still looking forward to the movie, guys. It's still Bryan Singer. We're gonna see how he closes out his universe that he started back in 2000, and also kick off another one, which he seems likely to be, taking over within the next couple of movies. So we'll see how that goes. Anything else you guys want to say?
I have a question for you. You think that this movie will wrap up Bryan Singer's X-Men universe?
I think so, because you're introducing a new Cyclops, Jean Grey, all that. Likely saying goodbye to the first class cast. I'm pretty sure Fassbender and McAvoy are coming back, right? But other people like Nicholas Hoult, Jennifer Lawrence, Lucas Till, like they might be going off elsewhere, So
because Jacob and I were talking beforehand, and I think we both agree that there's a high chance that we could see all these characters back for another movie.
Yeah, at least Professor X, Magneto,
we were
and
kind of
maybe Mystique.
We were kind of breaking down the trailer a bit, scene by scene, and we saw a couple shots that may have led us to believe that another movie...
it's not a spoiler. It's in the trailer.
Yeah.
If you pay attention, when she says, you're not students anymore, you're X-Men, it looks like, they're back at the X-Mansion, and they're lined up in their new uniforms, and she's, like, giving them a speech. Like, kind of the same ending as Age of Ultron, where, like, you're not students anymore, you're X-Men, after probably defeating Apocalypse. So if that's the case, if that is what's happening, that makes it seem like Mystique is sticking around for a while. And maybe Jennifer Lawrence did sign on again, and she's going to keep playing this character for another 3 movies. I don't understand why people say, like, it's going to close out Bryan Singer's era. Because no matter what, even if some of these characters are going to fall over to the next trilogy or the next movie. So it's still a continuation of that universe. So it's not really wrapping up anything, in my opinion.
Well, what I mean by that is that you're no longer going to see the original cast, and I mean everybody, like Patrick Stewart.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
That's another question. If Hugh Jackman says he wants to do more Wolverine films, how much longer do you keep him on? If you're trying to reboot a franchise, they're going to be like, where's the old Cyclops, Or
exactly.
What happened to his buddies? Why is he hanging out with kids now,
Well, he doesn't age, so it would make sense. Also,
remember,
yeah.
Last time we saw Wolverine, he was being held by Mystique.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say they better address that.
Well,
because that was one of the most confusing things of Days of Future Past.
And I'm sure there'll be some kind of maybe name drop or something, but I wouldn't mind seeing like a different incarnation of Wolverine. Maybe not even a male Wolverine. I would be fine with seeing a woman Wolverine, just a whole new, because it's a new timeline, an entire new timeline.
Well, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is still exists.
But no, he's in there, but
timeline.
Who knows, maybe he doesn't end up being the Wolverine we know.
Oh, you're saying they do that project to someone else?
Yeah.
And he...
Bringing an entire new Wolverine.
I think we're going to see Hugh Jackman in a cameo in this movie. I believe so. We've been going on about the trailer, but back in Comic-Con, Bryan Singer brought Hugh Jackman out during the X-Men Apocalypse panel and said, I'm aware that you've been in every single X-Men movie till this point. So I always keep that in mind when people are doubting whether Hugh Jackman's going to be in this film.
We still have our bet.
Yeah, we do. We do.
All right, let's talk about Sausage Party. The animated R-rated comedy stars Seth Rogen, Jonah
That sounded
Hill.
so bad.
Sorry.
Let's talk about Sausage Party.
Hey, all right, this is a movie podcast, all right? If your mind is somewhere else, okay, like, this is not underground.
Well,
okay?
that's what the title's intending to
yeah,
fly towards. So.
yeah.
Makes
Anyways,
sense.
the film stars Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, James Franco, Michael Cera, Kristen Wiig, Edward Norton, Paul Rudd, Danny McBride, Craig Robinson, Nick Kroll, and Selma Hayek. What'd you guys think of the first trailer?
Man, oh man. So, what was the intention of this trailer? To make me laugh, and that's exactly what it did. First of all, I was talking to Jake about this earlier. When they put out their first synopsis for the film, they were like, a sausage link falls out of a shopping cart and tries to find his way back home to his aisle. That is not this movie. They put that out to trick us because, I mean, the concept of the movie is food discovering what really happens to them. And I just can't believe how creative, how original this is. I mean, it reminds me of kind of like Toy Story in a way, but for food. And obviously adult rated R, but there's so many moments to like recall just from this trailer, like the baby carrots, you see them getting squished, like their whole face, and the potato getting skinned. There's so many great things in this. I'm excited for it because I'm a huge Seth Rogen fan, and I love that whole team, him and Evan Goldberg and Jonah Hill and James Franco and all of them. But even just aside from that, the fact that we're getting an adult animated film with this concept, the concept is amazing. So I didn't think I was going to like this trailer that much. I remember when I started, I was like, okay, let's see what they're going for. The surprise element from what the concept is and just the jokes, just take my money now. I freaking loved this trailer.
Jake?
Yeah, I'll echo everything you said. I mean, we've talked about it before. I'm not the biggest Seth Rogen fan. I think all of his stuff is kind of the same thing. But we talked last time about this when an image came out. And I said, this is exactly what I want to see from them. And this is exactly what I want to see from them.
Well, you always say you want him to do something different.
Yeah, and this is so different. They've been talking about this movie for like almost 10 years. And to finally see it hit the screen, I mean, the trailer's so good. It's like this nice, fun, kiddie movie, like the first 30 seconds.
Well, if you didn't know, you would think it's a Disney movie or something.
I was watching the trailer review on Collider, and they had both Natasha and Wendy do it.
Oh, yeah.
And neither of them knew what the trailer was, what the movie was. So when it took that turn, and I'm excited to see that trailer pop up in theaters because nobody's going to know what this movie is.
Me too, yeah.
And when that turn hits at like 45 seconds with the freaking potato, like I
So
died
good.
laughing. And then the baby
So good.
carrots, and then the Saving Private Ryan scene. There's so many good things in the trailer. I mean, I love the use of the F-bombs. They like fit in there perfectly.
You know what it is about that? You think they would be forced and like over the top with it, but it seems so
works.
natural.
It
It seems
works.
like that's just the way that they talk,
Yeah.
and they're not forcing the cuss words. So
Yes,
I really
and
like that.
I think the voice choices for certain foods, like Seth Rogen fits the sausage so
Yeah.
well. Salma Hayek as the taco
Yeah.
is perfect. Edward Norton,
Kristen Wiig?
Kristen Wiig as Seth Rogen's bun. Like that whole thing between them is gonna be so funny through the entire
It's
movie.
like we were made for
Because
each
her
other.
mouth is like right. It's gonna be a
Exactly.
joke through the entire movie.
Yeah.
So obviously with the comedy, you're always worried about is it gonna work for 90 minutes. As of right now, I don't see how it won't work for 90 minutes. Like it looks like it's a fluid motion through the entire thing. It looks like it's gonna be really fun. An R-rated animated movie. I mean, it looks exciting and something we definitely need.
I mean, when was the last time you've had like an animated movie with like all adults, like them being so excited? Like, you have kids, you take them to go see Pixar movies, you end up liking the movie, cool. But this is a movie that legitimately is for adults, made for them. I was expecting a little more sexual, content in there because,
I think they're
Sausage Party-
saving that for the
I think,
movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're saving that
that-
for the movie, which I don't mind. I buy this trailer. I love the cast. I love the concept of it. Like you said, Jacob, it's so original. Maybe one more small trailer, a lot of the same stuff, but like save the best jokes in there for last. And I love how it's the Red Band trailer because
Yeah,
they kinda
you
sell-
cannot sell this movie any other way.
Yeah.
Than a Green
Yeah,
Band trailer.
yeah, you're not gonna sell it to kids. That's not who you're trying to reach. But anything else, guys?
Yeah, I have a proclamation to make. Sausage Party will get nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars later this year.
Goes
It
to
will.
Seth Rogen, James
Just nominated.
Franco.
It'll get a nomination for best
Oscar.
animated because there's no thing saying it's not best kids movie. It's best animated feature. It could be an adult. Like look at Anna Mona Lisa. That's an R-rated animated film. This movie is going to get nominated. I believe so. I think there's going to be a lot of heart to it too, not just crude humor. So
Real hearts.
All right, let's move on to the Ben-HUR remake. Ben-HUR is the remake starring Jack Houston and Morgan Freeman. It's the
and
remake,
Toby Kebbell.
And Toby Kebbell, correct. He was in the trailer for the whole time. It's a remake of the 1959 starring Charlton Heston that won 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor in a Supporting Role, and Best Cinematography. So with all that in mind, what did you think of the first trailer?
I'm actually the only one at the table who has seen the original Ben-HUR.
Thanks
Oh,
for
okay.
calling us out.
I'll get it out there now.
Thanks for calling us
I'll
out.
put it out there now. The original is, I mean, it's a true masterpiece. Yes, it's like 3.5 hours long, but it's so worth your time. As for this trailer, you know, I thought it started off really well. The scene with the ships was really cool and kind of, you know, had this epic feel to it. It almost felt like a scene from 300. Kind of had that tone. But the rest of the trailer, I was like, you know, it didn't hit me like I wanted to. It didn't feel like a Ben-HUR remake. It kind of just felt like modern Hollywood trying to take an old property and boosting it up a bit to get some cash grab. I mean, I like Jack Houston, I like Toby Kebbell, I like everybody involved, but the trailer didn't get me as I wanted it to. The sell is supposed to be the chariot race, and the chariot race doesn't look like it should, from what I've seen from the original. And I don't know if they're trying to go straight remake or just play off of it, but I was looking for more from it, and it didn't feel like old time Roman time either. Like the haircuts, like they were short and modern, and there wasn't any really good like Roman era look to it, other than Morgan Freeman's dreadlocks. But
That was in Roman era?
no, I doubt
Okay, I
it.
was gonna
But it didn't feel like I was there. It didn't feel like I was experiencing something. It just felt like I was, you know, watching some kind of soap opera or something, you know. And I wanted it to feel like real Ben-HUR, and it didn't feel like it. So.
Well, I'll say something real quick. I mean, the trailer looks cool. I mean, I didn't know really what to expect. But this is a good opportunity for me to talk real quickly about my Morgan Freeman fatigue. I used to be so excited about Morgan Freeman being in movies. Like, yeah, Morgan Freeman, that's awesome. But now he's like in every movie. And, you know, I think he's just doing it for the paychecks, right? I mean,
Can you blame him?
no, not at all. He's
Well-
certainly earned it. He's an Oscar-winning 2 or maybe 3-time nominated, actor.
I'm not sure.
But I mean, I don't know. Like now, when I see Morgan Freeman, it's like, okay, cool, Morgan Freeman. But it's not
Well,
like
both
Morgan Freeman.
he had 2 trailers drop in one day. Now You See Me 2 and this.
Yeah.
So
No, I totally agree with you, Gio. I really do. It takes away from. It's not something special anymore when he's in a movie. But at the same time, I believe it was either him or another actor who's in everything. Maybe Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
But I think it was Morgan Freeman. He in an interview he said something about like this is my job. If like take what you do, what's your profession? And if people kept offering you a good amount of money to do your job, wouldn't you do it? And when you put it in that perspective, you can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
But I agree with you though. It takes away from him being in a movie. But what do you think about the trailer?
Oh, I thought it was cool. Like I
Yeah.
said, I didn't know what to expect. It looks like a good time. I might dislike it a little more if I watch the original movie, which I intend on doing. So it's kind of a wait and see, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like the trailer. I mean, I haven't seen Ben-HUR, the original Ben-HUR. Yeah, go ahead and talk crap, but I've never got around to doing it. I'm going to watch it. I'm gonna try to watch it before this movie comes out. But just watching it, and not associating it with the classic, I liked the trailer. If this was just a random movie coming out that wasn't Ben-HUR, I would be excited. And the chariot races look incredible to me. Because I don't know how they look in the original, but this looks like they can do it justice with the special effects and everything. To me, I was telling you, to me, it feels like freaking Mad Max Fury Road on chariots. to me, and that's awesome because I want to. That's what's going to get me in the theater is the action and the violence of those chariot races. I mean, it's probably going to be PG-13, I'm assuming, so they can maximize on the box office. But that's the part that excited me. And Toby Kebbell playing a villain again. But I think
the dude is always betraying someone.
Yeah, I think he's going to kill that role. He's becoming like an actor I always keep my eye out for. But it didn't blow me away, but it got me excited to see the movie. So I guess that's the job of the trailer, right? So I did like it.
All right, well, let's move on to Now You See Me Too. The second trailer has arrived. The Four Horsemen minus Isla Fisher are back, with Lizzie Kaplan taking her place. Also returning is Mark Ruffalo, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and joining them is Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe. Guys, what are the chances we can get a Harry Potter Now You See Me crossover?
None.
0, but there will be some kind of
Reference?
joke.
You think there'll be a reference?
They're not going to say Harry Potter, but they're going to make some kind of joke about it for sure.
Awesome. What do you guys think of the trailer?
I like it. I mean, I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a lot of fun. I know a lot of people were maybe confused by it, all the twists and turns and whatnot, but I, for one, had a lot of fun with it. I like what I see from the second one so far. Maybe not as much as the first one, but again, it looks like a lot of fun and, crazy magic and turns and betrayals and all that kind of stuff. I thought Daniel Radcliffe was the villain, but I kind of get the feeling that Morgan Freeman is now the bad guy.
Who knows with this movie?
Yeah, so
there's gonna be a bunch of twists.
So I mean, it looks fun. Having Daniel Radcliffe in there is cool. Having Lizzie Kaplan's in there is cool. I would have rather seen Isla Fisher back, but she's a great replacement. Mark Ruffalo with them now. They're kind of the Five Horsemen again, or now with Mark Ruffalo involved. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
I enjoyed the trailer. It didn't blow me away or anything. And yeah, I was one of those people who enjoyed the first one, but I didn't understand it. I still don't understand the ending. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it. But the one thing that I took away from that film is the actors and their chemistry together. Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Dave Franco. And I was upset when I first found out that Isla Fisher wasn't coming back because I'm a huge fan of her. But now I've seen Lizzie Kaplan in a few things since then, and I've actually became a huge fan of her. So I'm totally fine with her replacing her character. So just as far as seeing these actors together again, and can't forget Mark Ruffalo, I'm totally down. But yeah, Morgan Freeman again. There you go. I'm excited for this movie actually, and I didn't think I would be, but the trailer's okay.
Yeah, look, I'm not going into this movie to debate what's real and what's fake. It's all fake. Okay, but I'm just going in looking for like a good time, a fun time,
Yeah.
That's what this movie is trying to be. It looks like Morgan Freeman is really the bad guy this time. Spoilers, if you haven't seen the first movie, he was, believed to be that guy, but then it turned out to be another guy. So that's it should be interesting. And Daniel Radcliffe, it'll be cool seeing him. I think he's gonna be kind of like Andy Garcia in Ocean's 12.
Okay. That makes sense.
He's playing the father of Michael Caine.
The son.
The son. Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing the father.
The magic.
Of Michael
Yeah,
Caine,
yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I love seeing the Horsemen back. The chemistry, especially between Eisenberg and Harrelson, they were great in Zombieland. They were great in Now You See Me. They're gonna be great in this movie, and they're gonna be great in Zombieland too. So I'm all in. You guys have anything else you want to say?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right, let's move on to Central Intelligence. We have a second trailer. The film stars Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Aaron Paul about a CIA agent reuniting with his high school friend and recruiting him to solve a big case. What'd you guys think of the trailer real quick?
I don't know, man. I liked the first trailer. I was excited for The Rock because I'm a huge fan of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I mean, I always have been ever since I was a kid, and I used to be obsessed with wrestling. But I don't know, man. I'm a little bit starting to feel the Kevin Hart fatigue. I wasn't for a long time, and I'm still a huge fan of him. I think he's a great human being. I've heard him talk multiple times in interviews. He's a great human being, and I respect his work ethic very, very much. But he keeps doing the same stuff over and over again. I hated Ride Along 2. I hated Get Hard. I don't even remember the last film of his that I liked. So I'm still looking forward to this movie because The Rock, and here's the thing, If this movie is rated R, that
Yes.
changes everything for me. I want this movie to be rated R. From watching this trailer, it doesn't look like it's rated R. And is Aaron Paul in the movie? Really? Is he in the trailer? Is he the third lead? Is he? I mean, are they saving him for the?
Yeah, sort of.
I wonder.
like-
He's probably gonna be the villain or
Maybe-
something.
maybe the
main
He'll be the good
villain.
guy who turns bad.
Yeah,
Guarantee
something
it.
like that. But I don't know. I'm gonna be in there to see it opening weekend because of Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and I'm still holding out hope for Kevin Hart. Oh, I liked The Wedding Ringer was the last Kevin Hart movie I liked. I really liked him and Josh Gad together, so he can still do it for me. I'm just starting to get a little bit fatigued with him.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. The only reason I'll probably go seeing this movie is Dwayne Johnson. Other than that, I didn't like the trailer at all. So
I think The Rock looks hilarious. By the way, I love when he's like cool.
there are
Cool.
a few. For me, there were a few cheesy moments for him. Like
I mean,
I felt like it was a little too over the top.
I don't like the singing thing in
Yeah,
the shower. I don't like that.
The trailer just kind of threw me off. I'm just like, what is this? I expect a little bit better from them, but it is what it is. So
Yeah, I'm buying Dwayne Johnson in a straight up comedy role. I thought he was awesome in Pain and Gain. He
Pain
had
and
some
Gain, yeah.
good comedy.
He has comedic chops.
The Other
Even in like
Guys.
what was the sequel to Get Shorty?
Be Cool.
Be Cool. He was hilarious in that
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Who would have thought, right? Yeah. So I mean, I buy it. We're all gonna be there. We're all gonna see it. We're hoping it's good.
That rating is gonna the R PG-13 is gonna really do it for me if it's rated R. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to Legend of Tarzan. Is that what the name is called, or is it just Tarzan?
No, The Legend of Tarzan.
The Legend of Tarzan. Okay. Second trailer has arrived from director David Yates. Comes a modern telling of the King of the Jungle, right? He's King of the Jungle.
The Man of the Jungle,
the Man of the Jungle.
Lord of the Apes.
The Lord of the Apes.
And
There
King
you
of the
go.
Jungle is still the gorilla.
Kong?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways. Basically, second trailer, Alexander Skarsgård, also starring Margot Robbie, Christoph Waltz, Samuel L. Jackson, who's also starring in Kong Skull Island, and Jaimon Hansu. What did you guys think of this trailer? I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it. It didn't blow me away or anything. You can kind of tell they're not done touching up the special effects. That scene where they have, what are they, like rams invading the town or
Buffalo.
You could tell that CGI is not finished, but that has nothing to do with how good the movie's going to be. I'm very intrigued. I think we need a modern live action telling of Tarzan, and I think it could be really good, his relationship with the apes and everything. So I'm still looking forward to the movie. I didn't necessarily love the trailer. I did like, we saw a little bit more from Margot Robbie's character, Margot Robbie as Jane, so especially for her, I'm looking
perfect
forward
casting.
to it. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I like it, but didn't love it.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. I've watched the trailer a few times now, and like you said, the special effects do need a little bit of work, but I love what I see. I think that, like you said, a modern telling of this legendary story it's what it deserves, and I like the take they're going for. I like Alexander Skarsgård as Tarzan because, one, he is known, but he's not known to everyone.
It's
And
perfect.
he's had
And you
small-
got knowns in there too.
Yeah, so and the Margot Robbie casting it.
Christoph
as
Waltz, I
freaking
didn't even
perfect.
mention, that's perfect casting
Yeah,
too.
Christoph Waltz is a great casting. I like Jaimon Hansu in there as the local tribe leader. What it looks like, I guess.
Typical.
I think that I love where they're picking up to the story. It's not an origin story, but it'll be flavored in there. Because from what I know, the movie's actually going to start with him already in London.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's
I like that.
really cool. I love the action. I think the relationship between him and the apes is going to be really cool to see. I just don't hope they go too big because they don't need to go too big. I hope they kind of scale it down a little bit. But as for the trailer, I like that. I like what I see so far.
So I was watching this trailer in a noisy environment. So from the looks of it, the apes killed Tarzan's father.
They kill their parents.
Okay.
Apes do?
I thought that's
From
what
the trailer.
I thought that's what
That's what the trailer
saw.
it kind of implies.
Okay. All right. Well, I
Who
think
knows? I don't think that's going to be the case, but we'll see.
yeah,
Unless there's bad apes and good apes.
probably.
I
Yeah.
think
Well, the
that-
one thing we haven't seen yet is the tiger, right?
Oh, that's true.
Or the jaguar. What is it?
There's some type of.
It's some kind of cat. It's
Yeah.
Tarzan's main adversary, basically.
Maybe that's the sequel.
Yeah, who knows?
We'll see.
Because if they're doing that, that would be cool. Because
Yeah.
that was a big part of the animated movie. So
True.
Anyways, I think this trailer looks great. Everything looks great. Margot Robbie looks great.
Of course she does.
Yeah. David Yates has proven himself as a director who can adapt stories and give them, an epic sense of adventure and purpose. I will say that I am no longer jumping up and down for Christoph Waltz. The guy's an Oscar caliber actor, but everything outside of, not everything, most of what he does outside of Tarantino, working with him, I don't know. If he just chooses his roles wrong, or like, I don't know, like the Green Hornet.
Well, I don't think
he was underused in Spectre.
it's him who's the problem. It's the movies that he's in.
Probably.
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, you're more than likely right. I'm probably not giving him enough credit.
I think he's just drawn to those type of roles. Like,
Do you agree that he gives the effort? He, like, even in Spectre, his character was not written great, but as far as him performing the character, he did his job.
Yeah.
Horrible
Bosses too. So
I actually like that movie. So, but I know generally it's not.
Yeah.
Liked.
Yeah. But I mean, anyways, I'm excited for this. It'll be interesting I'll kind of compare it to Jungle Book after I see it, as far as who did it better, effects, and the apes and.
that's gonna be Jungle. Yeah,
well, we don't know.
Never know.
So, anyways, that's gonna wrap up our news segment. We didn't have any rapid fire. Nothing really happened besides Indiana Jones this week. So we're gonna go into our Showdown Sunday, where we recap. Every Sunday, I write a Showdown Sunday thing, putting 2 or more movie-related topics together, and you guys vote on who wins. And this week, I chose Best Buddy Cop Duo. And I had duos in there like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith from Bad Boys, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon, Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan from Rush Hour,
Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill.
I even threw in Turner and Hooch because somebody wanted me to really badly. But I noticed we had quite a few votes for other. So
Yeah.
I think Jacob and I kind of
voted
voted.
other.
I think we did. I threw in 2.
I actually wrote it in, but it doesn't show what we wrote
it, so
in.
I think I voted the
Share,
same thing
guys.
as you. Judy
Share.
Hopps and Nick
I
Wilde.
voted Judy Hopps and Nick
Yeah,
Wilde
from
from
Zootopia.
Zootopia.
Yeah,
You didn't see my
those-
comment?
But I did, but can you count that? I mean,
And there's also a few other, like, you don't want to give too many options,
Do they
obviously,
have to
but
be iconic?
here
no, I mean, I meant like humans.
here's a few others. You have
I haven't
Why
seen
not?
you have Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in
In that series.
What is it? The zombie one.
The Hot Fuzz?
No,
Hot
Hot
Fuzz.
Fuzz.
That's
And
it,
then you
yeah.
have, what about Bill Hader and Seth Rogen in Superbad?
Well,
There's a duo.
Well, I think it's fair that the leads of the film should be the duo.
I was kinda-
Okay,
I get
Will
what you're
Smith
saying.
and Tommy Lee Jones, Men in Black.
I was kind of, yeah, I guess.
I'm just saying,
No, I get.
No, I guess.
I voted that as kind of a joke, but it's because I really enjoyed Zootopia,
Right.
and most of the reason is because of those 2 characters. But honestly, if I were to choose from what's listed here, for my personal style of comedy and what I like, Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. If I didn't vote other, I would vote Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. They have such great chemistry in those movies, and I'm excited to see them in the 3rd movie, even if it's mixed with another franchise, I guess. I don't know.
Dude, having them fighting aliens is kind of the way to go.
I know. Like I said, it makes sense for the 21 Jump Street franchise because they can do whatever they want with that franchise. It doesn't make sense for the Men in Black franchise.
Yeah.
Like, it diminishes it. I don't know.
So, no, but if I was to go off of that list, and I mean, it's a fantastic list because some of those movies are unbelievable, but not going with Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill is hard, but I would go with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith because I really thoroughly enjoy the Bad Boys movies. I like the kind of action comedy that's thrown in there. Will Smith kind of has the action part, Martin Lawrence kind of has the comedy part. That's fun. But Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill is a fantastic choice. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover is
Great. That would be my next choice.
Yeah,
Mel
that
Gibson,
one's
Danny
great.
Glover, dude.
Turner Hooch isn't a bad one either. I would even throw in Starsky and Hutch in there. A little Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
That'd be fun too.
Yeah, for me, it's Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. I mean, we're over here asking for Bad Boys 3, like 15 years after, the last film. So For me, those guys do it, and you cannot ignore Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. I love Lethal Weapon 4. I don't care what anyone says. That movie's awesome. So yeah, that's about it.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for Apocaflix Movie News. I want to thank these two gentlemen here for joining me today. First off, Gio Ramos, where can they find you online?
Twitter at GioRamos24 and on ApocaflixMovies.com. Every day look for the Man of Steel review coming Monday.
And Jake Berlin, where can they find you online?
Twitter, Instagram at Qui-Gon Jake, ApocaflixMovies.com every day.
And I'm your host, Jacob Bartley. You can find me on Twitter at JacobBartley_. You can find me on this Apocaflix Movies YouTube channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment, please. We really appreciate it. Until next time, take care.